to me, Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
Yeah, this looks, I don't know, man. He looks like he's on some gear.
That guy is Defo on Peds.
Yeah, I think he is on the PEDs, man, because this doesn't look right, man. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like there's a little...
Following the accusations of cheating, Crawford strongly lashed out at Floyd, insisting Floyd simply hates admitting another fighter could surpass him. From Crawford's view, Floyd has raised doubts about the bout without presenting any real proof. Instead, he just resents that someone else is receiving the admiration he once owned. Looking at Canelo's case, it becomes clear. Canelo has absorbed shots from much larger opponents his whole career, men like Golovkin and Kovalev, and he never once required surgery afterward. Then comes Crawford, climbing from smaller weight divisions, who defeats him and leaves him injured badly enough to push back his return. That outcome caught everyone off guard, and it remains exactly what Mayweather continues to highlight even now, proving how much the result bothers him compared to the recognition Crawford is currently enjoying.
Breaking news, Canelo Alvarez has undergone elbow surgery after him getting beaten by Terence "Bud" Crawford. But no excuse, alright?
Floyd claims there has always been something suspicious about Crawford's gloves, and this wouldn't mark the first occasion either. He quickly emphasized that similar concerns were raised before. He referenced Crawford's bout with David Avanesyan. During that contest, the gloves tore open, exposing the padding, which forced the referee to halt the fight. The commission inspected the situation, but within minutes allowed the match to continue. Shortly afterward, Crawford delivered a sharp combination that knocked Avanesyan out cold. Even Avanesyan himself never moved past it. He argued the whole situation felt dishonest, suggesting Crawford enjoys unusual protection since the fight took place in Nebraska. He even admitted the controversy left him uneasy, stirring negative memories about boxing that still linger with him today, reinforcing the suspicion Floyd continues pointing to.
Commenting, talking about, yeah, Terence Crawford dirt, he's dirty, he's on that snack, he's on that juice.
Now with Canelo injured and requiring surgery, those same suspicions easily resurface. Supporters are questioning how a naturally lighter fighter achieved what Canelo's previous challengers never managed. For many, the outcome simply doesn't make sense. Yet Crawford fires back directly at Floyd, arguing this is driven by pride, not proof. He insists Floyd despises watching another man claim the attention and accolades he once enjoyed. In Crawford's eyes, the dispute has little to do with gloves or cheating and everything to do with legacy and jealousy.
Package, it's who has absorbed the bigger shots in the weight division. So, and it was good. It was a very good point. It was like Canelo has been hit by light heavyweights and super middleweights for the best part of a decade.
Basically,
he's so used to taking those shots, whereas Crawford hasn't. Crawford's been hit by 140 guys and 147 guys for the best part of a decade.
Yeah. Recently, Floyd's TMZ Sports interview right after Crawford's victory has been widely discussed. When questioned about the bout, Mayweather remained professional and brief. He said it was good for boxing, exciting, and that the better man won. That statement itself carried weight, since Floyd almost never offers praise unless carefully shaped. He admitted Crawford's showing was no fluke. Crawford defeated one of the sport's most notable stars, leaving little room for doubt. Still, observers noted the respect would be temporary. The approval sounded genuine, but only for a moment, it appears.
Canelo, choose one, please.
Guys, we gotta go. We don't.
Can you elaborate on why Crawford is better than Mayweather? It's just a little bit of detail.
Oh, he can switch. He's very smart guy.
When the topic shifted to Canelo's age, Mayweather hinted at uncertainty regarding the Mexican champion. Well, I don't know. Boxing brings plenty of wear and tear on a fighter's body, maybe so. I can't say for certain, Floyd responded when pressed on whether Canelo might be finished at 35.
Little bit of Jay Reed energy. Was this the reason that Terence "Bud" Crawford whooped Canelo pillar to post, post to pillar?
Get your hand out of my pocket!
Was Canelo breaking down? Is his body deteriorating?
Get your hand out of my pocket!
50 plus fights, 50 plus training camps, not even talking about his amateur fights, not talking about the fights that he fought in Mexico up there in local bars. We don't know.
Floyd's reply wasn't an outright jab at Canelo, yet it hinted Crawford may not have faced the sharpest version of him. Boxing icons like Mayweather know the physical toll fighting demands, and he didn't completely reject the notion that Canelo's age could have played a role. Even without harsh criticism, his words suggested Crawford's victory might have come against an opponent no longer performing at his full prime.
Canelo is the guy right now in the sport that's supposed to be the man, you know, big bad wolf. You beat him, you the wolf. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, who else I'm gonna fight? You beat the shark, you beat the wolf. Right. Damn. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't no more ops out there. It's ops out there, but who gonna make them really want to get up?
Makes sense. That's like you said, you be the shark.
As fans enjoyed Crawford's victory and praised his talent, others within the sport began questioning his upcoming steps and the effect they might have on his legacy. Hall of Fame trainer Ronnie Shields, who guided legends such as Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, recently shared his perspective. Known for being outspoken, Shields didn't hold back when addressing Crawford. He insisted that if Crawford hopes to be remembered among the all-time greats, he must challenge the very best fighters available. Shields stressed that true champions always meet the toughest competition. He directly pointed out names like David Benavidez, Christian and Billy, and also Osleys Iglesias. According to him, these are the opponents Crawford needs to overcome to solidify his status among boxing legends.
Be having surgery on his shoulder and will be returning back to Riyadh season mid-late 2026. That means the man is not retiring.
A 2-pack of ass. That shit stinks.
A little bit of
You ain't no cop, Jay Reed.
Jay Reed energy. Was this the reason that Terence Bud Crawford whooped Canelo?
Shields hinted that sidestepping those opponents could damage Crawford's place in boxing history, noting that past all-time greats never abandoned divisions to steer clear of real threats. He emphasized this as a powerful point, since it measures Crawford's decisions not only by championships earned, but by lasting respect. Shields floated the idea Crawford might jump to middleweight for a 6th world crown. Though another belt would appear impressive on record, he cautioned that ducking risk undermines what defines greatness. For Shields, true legends embrace danger, not carefully calculated avoidance.
Saw you before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT, greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches, not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet.
Meanwhile, debate around Crawford's future carried on during the 3 Knockdown Rule podcast, where Mario Lopez suggested a bold scenario. What if Crawford rises to middleweight and challenges someone like Janabek Alimkhanuly? Lopez posed the thought that if Crawford secured the remaining titles and became undisputed in yet another division, his legacy would shine in gold. That's the kind of gamble both Shields and Lopez alluded to. Greatness isn't earned through comfort. It's forged by taking the toughest bouts. The real uncertainty now is whether Crawford chooses that daring route or opts for safety. Honestly.
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me.
This all ties back to Floyd Mayweather, though in an unexpected way. Crawford had consistently shown respect for Floyd, and right after the Canelo bout, he continued to praise Mayweather's abilities. He recognized Floyd as one of the all-time greats, labeling him the GOAT during his September 18th appearance on the 4th and 1 with Cam Newton podcast. Crawford stated, "I have nothing but the highest respect for Mayweather. I would never compare myself to him. He's the best of his era, and I'm the best of mine." He never sought to overshadow Floyd or create a media rivalry. Crawford understood his place and openly admitted it, showing respect and humility in his words.
Looking back at like Floyd's career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight, and that's what led him to be so great. You know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, you know, got the most money for beating the most champions.
Everything shifted once Floyd began publicly criticizing Crawford. Now, if Crawford is certain about anything, it's that some of the backlash stems from his potential to become the sport's greatest. His confidence isn't just self-affirmed. Jaron Ennis outlined his boxing Mount Rushmore, including Sugar Ray Leonard, Roy Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, and James Toney. Crawford wasn't included, not out of slight, but because he represents the new era. Ennis acknowledged he hadn't yet considered Crawford in his all-time rankings. Still, it
became a fight where Crawford made it where Canelo, to have any chance, he had to go get close. So he had to go through a bad neighborhood.
Yep.
And Crawford mugged him. It's that simple. He had to go through a bad neighborhood to get anything done, to get to the place that something was going to be done good.
Yeah.
And he got mugged going through that neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Well, if I think
He also sidestepped questions about a potential bout with Crawford, explaining his focus is on his own debut at 154 pounds. Yet the implication is obvious. Crawford's presence is imposing, and fighters know that when he decides he could face any era-defining opponent, Floyd included. Crawford's progression through weight classes is equally notable. Prior to facing Canelo at super middleweight, he held titles at super welterweight and already possessed recognition for his WBA belt. The victory over Canelo appears to have sped up his rise. He has now surpassed the division in both accomplishments and the legacy he is crafting.
To Crawford, you did it, boy. You did it. For those who still aren't quite sure what they witnessed last night, I'm going to let you know that you witnessed what is called a notorious boxing clinic. This is everything done right, okay? First, he worked behind the jab, people. Boxing 101.
The upcoming challenge could determine if he stays a mere footnote in history or ascends to genuine all-time great status. A victory over a fighter like David Benavidez would place him among the elite few who have conquered multiple premier weight divisions, securing a spot in boxing's rarefied echelon of multi-division champions.
David Benavidez.
I knew it was coming.
He was the mandatory for Canelo.
Oh my God. Relax.
What's up? The scariest guy in the division.
He's not in the division.
He said he could still make 168 pounds. Dude. The reason why he was not because nobody wants to fight him.
That's a big dude. And to be honest, Terence Crawford's 37 years old.
It's about merit. Could I get to the generational talent?
The larger issue here revolves around legacy and public perception. Floyd Mayweather established an extraordinarily high benchmark. He competed in a fiercely competitive era, carefully managed his career, and retired undefeated. Crawford, however, is charting a distinct course. He continues to respect Floyd and acknowledge his greatness, but he is also setting himself up to demonstrate he can face anyone and triumph over them, whether in their prime or later. Crawford's path emphasizes embracing challenges rather than avoiding them. This shift from respect to confrontation is significant. It shows he isn't satisfied with recognition as merely a top fighter of his generation. He aims to be measured against the greatest of all time, including Floyd Mayweather.
And they're strong over the past year, these years. He ain't been getting clipped or nothing. So now, that snack shit, I'm telling you. Y'all laugh, I'm always...
No, do tell, open up.
And that guy that a part of it, he been caught before. He went to jail for it.
You're talking about Victor Conti?
He went to jail, right? Victor Conti? Yeah.
Bernard Hopkins recently discussed the ongoing debate comparing Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather with ES and EWS. As usual, the Hall of Famer offered a thoughtful and candid perspective. He noted that people will always attempt to compare fighters from different eras, but he feels that misses the point entirely. Hopkins agreed they shouldn't be directly compared. He explained that when fans try ranking across generations, it often reflects dissatisfaction with the present, while obsessing over a previous era that has already defined itself. They ask, who's greater between eras? But according to Hopkins, that's a pointless discussion. He emphasized that such comparisons are more about opinion than fact. A conversation of order that adds little value to appreciating either generation's achievements.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Hopkins has emphasized that boxing exists within weight classes and eras for a reason. Mayweather excelled in his era, while Crawford has established himself as the top fighter of his own time. Each demonstrated dominance under distinct circumstances against unique challenges. Claiming one is superior to the other reduces their accomplishments unfairly. From Hopkins's viewpoint, Crawford shouldn't be compared directly to Floyd. Instead, he deserves recognition for his achievements within his own era, judged on his performance and legacy in the context of the opponents and conditions he faced, allowing his career to be appreciated on its own merits.
He's a little mentally tired. He's been at that level for a long time. So 11 fights in 4 years. That's a lot.
Timing was perfect for Crawford. Yeah. He said it himself at the press conference. He said timing was everything. Perfect timing, everything.
That's right.
His whole career was on timing.
He was mentally tired, but you got to give Crawford his credit, man. To keep in mind.
It's true that many have attempted to compare their careers based solely on accomplishments. Crawford has collected numerous titles and honors, arguably surpassing Mayweather's own championship count. However, the comparison is complicated. The eras differ, weight divisions vary, and even fight styles contrast. No one can definitively declare who is the overall best, as each fighter possesses unique strengths and faced distinct circumstances. This debate will likely remain unresolved. In MMA, there's no true equivalent to Crawford, because the skill set simply doesn't exist there.
It's a fight that he is going to actually probably say yes to.
I mean, he has to feel comfortable he can win again. It's not like he got a lucky in a one-punch knockout. He won that fight.
Yeah, he won the fight, so I mean, I don't see him winning. There's no reason for him to be scared.
Right.
You know, and
technical legend. Crawford, conversely, has recently showcased his own elite boxing skills. Against Errol Spence Jr., Crawford demonstrated sharp counters, precise timing, and power, especially via the jab, snapping Spence's guard, and maneuvering effectively in tight spaces. While his style differs from Mayweather's, his in-ring effectiveness against a fighter of Spence's caliber is undeniable. Crawford's performance was emphatic, even acknowledging that Spence wasn't at peak due to past injuries.
There is no equivalent in MMA to Bud Crawford, because there cannot be. Bud is the most talented boxer I've seen since Mayweather.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
To be fair to Floyd, he obviously had hand problems in his whole welterweight run, and it's why he took that long stretch off in 2007, 2008, 2009 area, and Floyd's brilliance to be able to be just as great in some ways at that age. We're not here trying to dunk on Floyd.
This presents a compelling hypothetical showdown. If Crawford faced a prime Mayweather, how would their contrasting styles interact? Crawford's explosive, timing-based counters versus Mayweather's precise defensive mastery would create a true tactical battle. Who would strike first with the jab? Who would dictate the tempo? There's no clear answer, which is why some analysts argue that strictly in terms of skill, a draw could be justified. Each fighter ruled their respective era using different tools, and analyzing them point by point becomes nearly impossible, highlighting the challenge of comparing two all-time greats across generations.
And Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who would win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd would win that
yes,
fight.
Yes, sir. I love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah.
Shane Mosley also shared his perspective, claiming Crawford may be the more complete fighter. He cited Crawford's longer reach and overall size as potential advantages, implying he could hold the upper hand against Mayweather. Mosley suggested Crawford's toughness and adaptability might give him an edge across eras, but one critical factor must be considered. Mayweather's prime speed, Pretty Boy Floyd, competing in super featherweight and lightweight from 1997 to 2000, was blistering and made him exceptionally hard to hit. His hand speed and reflexes would likely have prevented Crawford from landing significant punches during that period. In boxing, speed often outweighs reach, and Mayweather's prime reflexes were arguably unmatched, making any hypothetical matchup far more complex than size alone would suggest.
Different tools, and comparing them point by point becomes almost impossible.
Because when you mention great fighters, right, 90% of your great fighters are black. The ones from the past. Now, with the Eastern Bloc coming on like they are, there's gonna be some great ones coming on now. Even with Lil Tony, as you see it, these guys are gonna be great. They're gonna start eclipsing and be coming up there too. But Right now, if you had to name 5 of the best fighters of all time, 4 of them gonna be black. You understand me? Who did he beat that was black in his prime, that was in their prime, that was on his level?
Reviewing Crawford's previous opponents provides additional perspective. At 147 pounds, he didn't consistently encounter elite-level competition similar to Mayweather's prime run. Fighters like Errol Spence, whom Crawford defeated, were not at their peak, while Sean Porter was 34 and nearing the end of his career. Although Crawford's dominance is clear, his opponents haven't always matched the caliber that Mayweather dismantled
opposition
during
rather
his
than
prime
staying
years.
within a more
What are your
limited scope.
thoughts? Share your
The
opinion in the
GOAT
comments below
during his
and
September
subscribe
18th
for more
appearance on the 4th
updates.
and 1 with
You.
Cam Newton